Yo guys, what's up, it's Krypz and welcome to another Destiny 2 fashion build video. This is quite different to many of my other sets I made in the past, as this will include different variations depending on the infestation of Siva. Now what I mean by this is that this one here is stage 1, then we also have stage 2 and stage 3 depending on how infected it becomes, and as we go higher in the stages up to stage 3, the ghost shell will change, and as well as the sparrow to match more of the Siva theme. So yeah, it's quite an interesting set. It's something different I wanted to try, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun just showing you all how it's all evolved. But yeah, getting straight into the set. So this is stage 1. This is the non-Siva version. So currently not infected at all by it, and the pieces will stay the same throughout with stage 1, 2 and 3. The only things I'll change is the shaders it uses, the ghost shell, weapon and sparrow. So as for the armor, the helmet is the Insurmountable skullfort with a Mindvault ornament. This ornament can currently be purchased from the seasonal section in the eververse. Now this will be going at the end of the season, so I recommend picking it up while you can. The arms are the Midnight Exigent Gauntlets from the escalation protocol back in year 1. This is no longer obtainable as the activity it did drop from has now been removed. The chestplate is the Sunbreaker's plate from Eververse Archive. I highly recommend purchasing this set as the entire set looks amazing. The boots are the Guardian Games 2021 ornament, the Contender Greaves. I made a video on this on the channel, but these are very nice for quite a clean look. And then we have the Luxe mark. Basically it's just a nice looking mark and it matches very well with the Sunbreaker plate with the shells going up the chest. So yeah, I think this is very nice as well. And then the shader that goes over the entire set here is Warbrick, which can drop from eververse engrams and can sometimes be sold in the Brighter store. So yeah, I used Warbrick as, it creates a nice silver, matches very well together, and pairs very nice with this yellow lining in the arms, which is unshaderable by the way. And this also ties into the weapon here, which matches perfectly. We have the Machina Die 4, this from the Curse of Osiris expansion, and this used the Vintage Timber shader. Now this is from the Sources of Heroes, but it pretty much just creates the perfect colours for this set. And if you didn't know, the No Time to Explain is pretty much the exact same model as this, so you could use that as well. And in the Ghost Shell we have the Amethyst Spine Shell, and this from the Dawning. You pretty much just want any normal shell, as I explain in the next stage why I just picked the normal shell, but it doesn't really matter. This uses Silver Tactical. And then the Sparrow is the Any Other Sky Sparrow, which I got from purchasing a special edition of Beyond Light. This also uses Warbrick. It's just a very clean shader overall and matches very well with the set. So yeah, this is the stage 1 set. Currently not infected at all by Siva, pretty much just a Warmind Sentry, and in the next stage we'll see it partly evolve and start to become more Siva like. So now moving on to stage 2, there are some visual changes you can see right off the bat. Compared to this stage 1 on the left here, we got a lot of red showing through, and one of the big changes as well is the ghost shell. So this is the reason why I picked a normal looking shell in the first stage, was because it could perfectly match with the hardlink shell, and show that from stage 1 to stage 2 that it got broken apart, and now we got this red spitting energy. And if you want to know how to get this shell, this was from Season of the Worthy, so this is no longer obtainable. But I think this ghost shell shows a perfect transition from how he's changed from a normal shell to now a Siva infused shell. And this same thing can be said for this sparrow here. Now this was from the Warmind Eververse, the piping going around with the black and red showing through now. You can use any shaders on to show the black and red, it shows a good transition then. So on the helmet here, we are using New Age Black Armory, which if you don't know is from Forges, which are no longer in the game, so this shade is no longer obtainable. So the reason why I picked this shade is obviously because of black and red, but I also like this effect because this may sound weird, but to me it looks like it's manifesting and evolving, so it shows the parts are constantly moving and looks like it's going to evolve into something, which will be stage 3. Now this shader can be seen being used on the arms here, the chest and the boots. And then as for the mark, I chose Carbon Blood as it just matched a lot better with the set, and Carbon Blood can sometimes be sold in the Brighter store. So yeah, that's pretty much stage 2 right here. We kept with the same weapon, as it is very similar to the Outbreak, which will be what we transform into in stage 3. But the only difference here is we use Carbon Blood on this to show more of the red, and I think overall it just suits perfectly well together. Definitely shows some change from stage 1 to stage 2, and it will definitely help in transitioning into stage 3. So now as you can see here, the set is fully evolved into Siva now. compared to stage 2. You can definitely see where I've transitioned there, and I think this turned out perfectly. And this is like really fitting with the ornament too, because a part of the original programming, which was for, you know, Rasputin, is still within him and is trying to fight the Siva, so that's why he's glitching out here. I think that's very fitting for this set. So firstly we're going to check out this ghost shell, as this was one of the big things I mentioned in the last stage. So now you can definitely see where I've gone from the hard link to this. It broke apart the ghost shell, turned into the hard link shell, and then it transformed into the tyrant shell here. And then with the sparrow, you can definitely see we went from the last one to this one, and now it has like a Siva trail coming up the back. And then compared to the Ex Machina, we've now changed it into the Warbrick Perfected. So yeah, it's fully evolved now. And yeah, I'm going to quickly go into shaders, and then we're going to just look over the whole outcome of this set. So the helmet is using the Carminica shader, which was from the Seasonal Arrivals Crucible Pursuit. This is no longer obtainable. Now you can also use Midnight Smith here, but I just really like the pattern it gave on the top of the helmet here. The arms use Midnight Smith from the Scourge of the Past raid, which is also no longer obtainable. Chestplate also using the Midnight Smith shader, and the boots also use the Midnight Smith shader. And then as for the mark, it uses Noble Constant Red. This is because it wasn't too bright of a red, and I just want something quite plain to match the rest of the set. Because with Midnight Smith it made it like this weird texture, which I didn't like as much, as you can see here. And yeah, that's pretty much the set. But yeah, we're going to look over the overall outcome of this set now. So here we have the transitions for stage 1, 2 and 3 for the armor. Then here it is for the shell, here it is for the gun, and here it is for the sparrow. So yeah, I would love to hear what you all think of this in the comments below. Now I will make another Siva tie-in next season for the synthoceps ornament. I can easily do something very similar to this for that. Like I said, it was something different I wanted to try. I've never done a set which like evolves, and it's quite interesting and a lot of fun to do. So I would love to see what you all would make. So if you do want to show me any of that, please go ahead and join my Discord. There's about 2,000 members in there, all really nice people just willing to help each other out with fashion. And I would just love to see what like transformation sets you all would like to do, because that's what I'm going to call this, a transformation set. I think that's quite a fitting name for it. But anyway guys, if you did like this set, please leave a like and comment down below what you think of it. Consider subscribing, as I have a lot more fashion content coming your way, especially next season with like transmog as well. And yeah, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.